There are bowlers from 26 countries who participated in the World Series of Bowling, like Australia, Jason Belmonte, Sweden, Jesper Svensson, Denmark, Tomas Larsen, and Australia's Sam Cooley. It's an incredible all-foreign field to decide who's the best on the Cheetah Championship. It's a remarkable field. You've got major champions in this one. So, which country's flag will fly highest? We'll find out in a moment.
He looks good. He looks good.
It's over now.
And we welcome you inside the National Bowling Stadium, the Geico PBA World Series of Bowling. And what a field for this Cheetah Championship. Great crowd on hand, as always, here in downtown Reno. Tomas Larsen, Jesper Svensson, Jason Belmonte, and Sam Cooley. And the top two out of those four who will be bowling simultaneously will go on to play for the Cheetah Championship. With Kimberley Preston and Randy Peterson, Dave Lamont with you here in Reno. And Kimberley is standing by with two of the best in the world.
I sure am. You know what? There were just under 200 entries into the World Series of Bowling, and these two dominated making shows. Jason Belmonte, you made 5 shows. Why do you think you were so dominant here at the World Series?
You know, I think you give me enough games to play. I always back myself to make those games back if I start to fall behind. And I feel like I'm a good front runner. So if I get off to a good start, I like to stay out there as well. And the stadium here in Reno seems to look after me over the years. So it's a combination of all those things.
All right, well, good luck to you today. Thank you so much. Jesper, I'm going to ask you the same thing. You made 4 shows. Why do you think you were so dominant here at the World Series?
Well, first of all, I think I bowled pretty good. And just like Jason said, when I'm up there in the top, I feel comfortable, and when I feel comfortable, I throw good shots. So it all goes hand in hand.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I wish you luck today as well. Guys, we're going to send it back to you.
All right, Kimberley, thank you very much. She was standing in between 21 PBA Tour titles and 9 majors, 8 of which are Belmo's. But Svensson's only 22 years old. He worked his way into 4 shows. Belmo 5. Svensson could have made 6. With a little bit more luck. Randy, tell us about the pattern we're on today, the Cheetah.
Cheetah, the shortest of the animal patterns that we're using here at this year's WSOB, 33 feet in length, and there really isn't no secret to this oil pattern. Throw it to the edge. Lots of friction to the outside part of the lane. I think it's a huge advantage today for Jesper Svensson being the only southpaw.
So we have 2 one-handers and 2 two-handers in this field. Again, they'll all be bowling pretty much at the same time. And then no stepladder in this Cheetah Championship or any of the animal patterns. And Larson starts us off with a soft 10. So now Svensson will come up. This year, he and Kyle Troop captured the Roth-Holman doubles in Portland, Maine. A memorable visit to Maine and a memorable match. It was, if you saw on Sports Center, Kyle Troop whipping out the hair picks to celebrate a big shot.
Big scores on this oil pattern.
Ooh, solid 7 for Svensson.
It's like seeing a unicorn. Week 7 for Svensson. Getting back to the scoring pace, Svensson averaged over 251. The rest of the players well over 240.
Well, we don't anticipate a spare shooting contest in this one.
Shouldn't be.
Look out. Oh, man.
From our angle, that looked like it was going in. Sam Cooley, the Australian.
And his release fascinates me.
It's his follow through.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, it's crazy. That follow through goes a lot of different directions. It's kind of fun to watch, but he keeps his shoulders so open that his shoulders never get square to the foul line. And so that follow through goes to the left.
And now Jason Belmonte. And you have to think about Player of the Year for 2017 when you think about what Jason has done. 3 titles this year, 2 of them majors. He also won the Lucky Larson Masters in Sweden. And just like that, no problem for Belmo.
3 of the 4 players using urethane equipment. Tomas Larsen using reactive.
A ringer that time for Svensson.
Top 2 scores advance to the title match here on Christmas Eve. What'd you get me for Christmas?
Oh, I don't want to tell you, man.
Thank you.
It's going to be a secret.
Cool.
It's going to be a secret. That just tracked in perfectly for Tomas Larsen. Larson has 2 PBA titles in his career, does not have a major. But on TV, he's had a tough time, and he said, I have bowled 1 bad game, 1 okay game, and 1 really good game so far. So Cooley steps in and gets the 10 to drop. That one didn't challenge the channel as much as the first one did. So here is our Barbasol close shave of the day.
Comes in a little bit light, does Cooley. 6 catches, just enough at the bottom of the 10 pin. Thank you very little.
Yeah, he's going to sneak away from that before the pins change their mind. And now Belmo. And the 8-time major champion kicks 10 straight back.
And the 2 Australians perfect through 2.
I just want to take a moment on behalf of all of us in our crew to send our condolences to Jesper. He lost a dear friend back in Sweden unexpectedly just a few days before the competition began. So bowling with a lot on his mind besides trying to win this championship and all the competition he had to get through. Doesn't seem to affect him, however, as a bowler, but certainly our condolences to Jesper for the loss of his friend. Rafiq Ismail, very impressive left-hander, and another very impressive left-hander Belmonte was able to defeat. 3 straight for Jason.
He doesn't look like he feels very well. I mean, he's just got a different look about him.
Yeah, you notice some of that intensity seems to be missing, Randy, that we normally see from Belmo. He just looks flat exhausted. Larson. There's exactly what you talked about threatening that right channel.
Yeah, you got to get it to the friction and have the friction, kind of use it as bumpers.
By the way, thank you for bringing the plants. That was really nice.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's a nice touch.
Cooley takes out Kimberley 3-2 and Parker Bone III 2-0. Both southpaws. Belmonte, the same thing. It's like the Australians had a hate thing going for the lefties this week. That was a beautiful follow through. Did you see that thing go left?
Ringing 10 for Cooley.
Interesting, he said too slow.
Sounds like you don't agree with his assessment.
Well, if it's too slow, then shouldn't this ball hook more? Too fast, it would have done that.
So through 3 frames, Jason Belmonte is perfect. He says he's a great front runner, and the rest of the field is finding out something that we all kind of knew anyway. Can they catch Belmo? The Geico World Series of Bowling PBA Cheetah Championship presented by PBA Bowling Challenge is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. by Go Bowling. Promotional offers, tips to improve your game, news, or to locate a bowling center near you, log on to gobowling.com. By Barbasol Premium Disposable Razors. You're looking good, America. And by Eldorado Properties, downtown Reno's Eldorado. Silver Legacy and Circus Circus, fun for everyone. 33-foot cheetah pattern. Time to take a look at our tournament highlights here. Jason Belmonte, Ryan Simonelli. Yeah, you're a great guy. No, you're a great guy. Now I don't like you anymore. Belmo doesn't like the pins, apparently, because in his final game to close out Simonelli, he was perfect. So perfect, he didn't even bother watching the 12th strike in that 300 game.
That's ridiculous. Next up, it's Jesper Svensson taking on Norm Duke, a former winner on Cheetah. Norm doesn't get the trip 4, and this match was all about the Iceman, Jesper Svensson, as he takes down Norm Duke 2-zip.
Parker Bone III has won on this pattern before. Either Sam Cooley from Australia. Would we have another Aussie in the field? We would, as he defeated the Great Bone 2-0.
Next up, Larson versus Francois Lowe from South Africa. And it was all about Tomas Larsen. He wins 2-zip as well.
So there we have our scores through 3. The top 2 will go on for the Cheetah Championship, and that leads us to Randy Peterson's Track Tech Talk on Tomas Larsen.
Well, I was talking about the pros working the inside part of the ball and amateurs working the outside part. That's his index finger. That's how part of the inside he is. Now watch what he does on the way down. Work the inside part, get that hand in a beautiful position. You can see his thumb just right there. Beautiful spot. That's what creates that great ball roll for Tomas Larsen. I tried to do that once and almost dislocated my elbow.
Yeah, you did all right in your career, though. So there is Tomas. And he'll be watching Jesper Svensson on the left lane. Svensson off a strike in the 3rd. Went 9 spare. He's at 2 7-pins. He's got a pitch black in his arsenal.
Didn't like it.
Nope, it's left with a 6.
Didn't like it.
Dåligt.
Tomas Larsen going lit. And the messenger will take care of business there.
Yeah, never hurts to be lucky. Head pin goes to the sidewall, and high karate's the 10. I think I used to have a bottle of that after.
You know, that was an awesome reference. I remember that very
Thanks.
well. The commercials were particularly hysterical.
They were great.
Now I'm going to spend the rest of my night on YouTube watching them. Booyah!
Another urethane ball.
The 7-9 were reluctant to fall, but they tumbled. So now Jason off 3 straight, and he will go with the pitch black.
More urethane.
And that went straight through the nose and leaves him with trouble. That looked like an awkward. Almost, did he stick there at the approach?
It looked like he almost fell down. Watch how he just kind of loses it right here at the foul line and steps off to the side immediately. It's almost like his equilibrium or balance is off.
Well, it certainly was on that shot. He was very sharp in the first 3. Waiter, I would like to order my rack shredded. Wow.
That was so nasty.
That really was. That's. And Belmo splits the goalposts.
Yeah, there's something off about him. That wasn't even close. He missed the 4-pin. on the right side.
You can see him kind of pump himself up a little bit there. Really, to me, if you're not right, keep moving is the best thing you can do. If you have to sit for a while, and there is going to be some sitting involved here, of course, that's maybe if something is bothering you that you start to think about it. Hanging out in the gutter and coming right back through the pocket.
Interesting that the other three players are using the weakest, less aggressive equipment in their arsenal. Larson is using very aggressive, very strong equipment. And it's just different strokes, different games, different rep rates.
And that's what a champion does when faced with a little bit of adversity. Belmonte bounces back. Larson's got the hot hand, though, right now with 4 in a row. But Belmo 4 out of 5, but does have a glaring open in the 4th. And you're right, he just does not look physically with it at the moment. Now Cooley.
Interesting. Guess who's back in the mix of things now with a strike in the 6th, and that would be Jesper Svensson. Love that follow through, man. You know, and I talked with Mike Devaney as to why those follow throughs are going so far to the left these days for right-handers as Larson leaves the soft 10. And Dave, it's because their shoulders are so open and then they never get square or closed at the foul line. And it's kind of an optical illusion. The follow through is actually going fairly straight, except for that one.
Goodness. No way in the world you could see that coming. And Cooley in the qualifying. Taking a look at the stats, had not missed that pin in 8 tries.
Yeah, big shot here for Jesper. A couple of 7 pins and a 6 pin, and only 2 strikes, no doubles.
Wow. Some pins were literally turned upside down. Well, do you think you have what it takes to beat today's champion? Head to PBA.com and check out the PBA Bowling Challenge mobile game for your iPhone, iPad, and Android devices with over 20 million downloads, mine included. Join your friends in today's Cheetah Championship tournament. Bowl a better score than today's winner and be entered to win. PBA Bowling Challenge offers more than 100 different bowling ball options, career mode, and 35 different venues to bowl. And we have 1 pin left there. Just go to the PBA Bowling Challenge link at PBA.com and get started. That was a light hit. Oh, the 7-10 got taken out.
Good shot, bad break. Looked a little bit like Marshall Kent last week.
So back to a good spare shot that time for Cooley. It is so tough to sometimes, well, not sometimes, almost always win when you miss a single pin, so we'll keep an eye on that. And Belmonte, no trouble at all with a fist pump there to secure that.
Tomas Larsen leads. Jesper Svensson is in 2nd. Jason Belmonte trails 2nd place in 3rd by 5 pins.
Svensson's working a double. He hated that shot, and he gets a tap on the 7. He stood straight up. The universal, I don't like that shot from bowlers, and he still got a strike.
But Dave, guess what? The Iceman cometh.
That pin actually looked like it was in the pit.
It was the vortex of the ball going through the pins that sucked that 7 pin forward, actually. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that. Tomas Larsen looking for that first W under the lights. Beautiful. Wow, he is really rolling it well.
Living on the edge. That's what you do on the Cheetah oil pattern. Tomas Larsen stroking it nicely.
Well, he averaged almost 247 on this pattern in 16 games with a high of 278. And we showed you Belmo's high already, 300. Oh, yes, that messenger flying across.
That was a pretty quick messenger. Trying to reserve that energy, it looks like.
Yeah, but you're talking about somebody who's comfortable under the lights. That would be Belmo. Meantime, Cooley. Beautiful. Spun that 9-pin around in circles.
On the 7th range, Larson leads.
Larson's bowling hero, Walter Ray Williams Jr.
Beauty. Beauty. See, he gave it the wave off there, like, hey, slow down a little bit. Get over there to the right a little bit.
Well, much like his hero, pins will listen when you ask, sometimes. Now Jesper working on 3 in a row.
Big shot here. Sam Cooley, Belmonte both working on strikes. Oh,
we are working another beer frame here, partner.
Not one of those again. Boy, did that ball go through the pins.
Well, we thought we would get a high-scoring event with this 4-man field. 2 winners will advance to the Cheetah Championship.
To have any chance, he has to strike here.
Well, there you go. He has a chance.
I think it's pretty safe to say the same for Belmonte as well. Max score for Jason, 244. Cooley, 237. Jesper, 259 and 269 for Larson.
And well, you know, for a moment a 7-10, and then Santa came down the chimney and broke up the 7-10, and it's a strike for Belmo. Jesper working on 4 straight in the foundation frame.
It's like a wrecking ball going through a house made of balsa wood.
Well, you got a fantastic look at just how closely Larson has to flirt with that gutter. And it works out beautifully for him as he has put together 3 straight. Belmo's going to try to do that right here in the 9th.
Larson and Svensson control their own destiny in this first match. Belmonte hanging. If it wasn't for that ripper 7 in the 6th, things would be a lot different. But right now, you're looking at a guy who's currently in 4th, and Sam Cooley, with little or no chance to advance.
Larson first, Svensson second.
And there you see the max scores. So Sam Cooley's 237 and Belmo's 244 may not be good enough.
He's in. He's going to bowl for the title.
So Tomas Larsen will get an opportunity to add a 3rd PBA title to his career.
Shot maker Tomas Larsen from Denmark. And beautiful slap on the 10 from the 6-pin. That was a strike he needed to advance, and he got it.
Jesper. And he knows he's in.
Well, he just needs good count. Remember the, excuse me, Dave, remember the count that Belmonte lost in the 4th frame when he went 8 and then 0. Svensson now in the high 240s. Larson is in. And it looks like it's going to be an all-Europe finale.
You knew that was going to happen.
Ow!
So it's Jesper Svensson moving on to the final against Tomas Larsen. You've got power from the left side with two hands, and Larson's steady shot-making game should make for a great final of contrast coming up to determine our champion in Reno. Welcome back inside the National Bowling Stadium in downtown Reno, the Geico PBA Cheetah Championship. And we've got our two finalists. Jesper Svensson and Tomas Larsen have moved on with nearly identical scores. Sam Cooley and Jason Belmonte have been eliminated. Well, this year we're giving you a great opportunity to be coached up by the Hall of Famer Randy Peterson with our Go Bowling tip of the week. You submit a video, and then Randy will take a look at it and give you his ideas. We're going to go out to Fireside Lanes in Citrus Heights, California, and hear from Madison.
I haven't seen your video.
Hi, I'm Madison at Steve Cook's Fireside Lanes in California. Hey Randy, I was wondering if you could check out this shot. One of my biggest issues is that I drift to the right. Can you help me with that?
All right, Madison, you know, you have a really nice looking game, but that drift to the right's coming in your third step. So what I would do is I would move farther right to start my approach and actually try to physically walk left. But the biggie is to get that third step to be more of a crossover step, cross it in front of the slide step. Get that done, that swing's going to fall right up underneath your right shoulder. It's going to make your hand perfect at the bottom of the swing.
All right, Randy, great tip as always. Jesper Svensson lost in thought. He has to keep his concentration for one more match against this man, Tomas Larsen, the shot-making right-hander versus the powerful lefty next. So here we go, our festive holiday set. The National Bowling Stadium in Reno with Jesper Svensson against Tomas Larsen. Really interesting battle here of styles. We've had left-handers on before, and let's go to our Ebonite flashback. Cheektowaga, New York, and the very first PBA Cheetah Championship. And Parker Bone III, epic mustache, epic game.
Loves firing it from the outside part of the lane. I mean, Parker Bone III made a fortune playing this part of the lane, and you throw a Cheetah old pattern at him, he's going to thank you.
Defeated Mike Scroggins in an all-lefty battle, 242 to 198. And he was in contention to be on that Cheetah show, our Cheetah show, this year. But instead, we have a left-hander, two-handed version, Jesper Svensson, and the right-hander from Denmark, a one-hander, Tomas Larsen. Larson is the higher seed, so he told Jesper, you can start in the left lane.
Oh.
What was that?
I don't know, but his ball goes through the pins about as hard as I go through the front door of a Walmart on Black Friday. I mean, this is just so nasty. Highest rev rate, and I mean, what's going to stop that?
Not even adding extra pins would stop that.
It's like trying to stop a Mack truck with a fishing net.
So Tomas Larsen, let's see how big this fishing net is. Left one there. Handled very carefully and properly by Tomas Larsen. Let's go down lane side where Kimberley is standing by with Belmonte.
Thanks, Dave. So, Jason, you played very well, but you had that split in the fourth, and it cost you. What happened there?
Yeah, it was just a little slow. Certainly tried to heave it as fast as I could to the right, and I just never got it to the right. So I was really hoping for some luck to just break it up, but never mind. The rest of the game was pretty good. I was pretty happy with the rest of the game.
Well, let's talk real quick because you played well, but every time you went and sat back down, the guys thought maybe you weren't feeling well or there was a little something off for you. What's up with that?
Yeah, not feeling the best. I had a little bout of food poisoning last night, but I mean, I'm well enough to throw the ball, so I was really happy with my game apart from that one shot. Probably bowled better than I would have if I was feeling great. So, you know, if you watch the replay again, which I will, Tomas and Jesper split their targets perfectly. So I think no matter how well I was feeling, they were probably going to make it through anyway.
Well, they definitely played well as you did. But you know what? And you're being a very good sport about it, and I appreciate that. But I'm going to let you go rest now because you have another match coming up.
Thank you. Yeah,
guys.
Cheers.
He's got seemingly about 100 more coming up in this World Series. He and Jesper Svensson combined 9 shows in the World Series of bowling. All right, how many in a row is that now?
Well, I got to go back to my sheet from the last game.
Because it seems like he's been striking consecutively for about a half an hour.
That's 10 in a row now for Jesper.
And Kimberley wasn't kidding about Belmonte needing to put his feet up on the couch a little bit because he'll be in our next show, which is coming up after this one. And it will be a Player of the Year battle, potentially. E.J. Tackett and Jason Belmonte.
Please, carry.
11 in a row. Over 2 games.
Well, he said that in English, so I know exactly what he just said. He said, please, and then carry. And it did. Most powerful strike ball on the PBA Tour, Jesper Svensson.
So that's what Tomas Larsen is up against here, but he knows that. Very experienced international bowler, Tomas, out of Denmark.
Beauty.
That is remarkable because for just a second I thought that was going to go ahead and dip to the right further, as Larson, by the way, just recently celebrated his 28th birthday.
These two players very familiar with one another with all of their international competition, and that ball was probably a 1.5-2 board. It's going to hook back from there if it leaves your hand correctly. It used to be one of my favorite places to play.
Bucket broken up. Couple still spinning around there, but Larson's left 2 on the deck.
I don't know if that was a release thing or a location issue, but there wasn't enough on it to get it flush to the pocket.
Well, right now, even a small, I don't want to say mistake. Maybe that first shot was a bit of a mistake. But, hey, you can't do anything wrong against this guy right now.
Well, we talked about it. First mistake. That was by Tomas Larsen going light in the first. Again, another light shot in the fourth. This man's perfect.
No, the messenger got tired. So that breaks the run. He had 11 in a row going, counting from the last game. Oh, he hated it, and for good reason. He did not shoot many spares in qualifying, and he leaves one back. He had missed, by the way, 15% of 7 pins in qualifying.
He just misses left on this shot.
And that is our hammer tough spare replay. And you have to wonder if that's going to come back to haunt him. Somebody had to pay for that missed 7 pin.
Yeah. 10 of his friends down in the pit.
Those are not, you don't treat your friends like that.
True, very true. 10 of his adversaries in the back?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, new life here for Tomas Larsen. Big open frame by Jesper.
Ooh, 7-10 was there for a blink. And just the 10 remains.
Flat 10, ball burning up. Or as my friend back home calls it, this is the quitter 10. 6 pin's going to go to the sidewall and just kind of lay there dead.
All right, time for our Columbia 300 fun fact. And it's about the lanes. The bowling lane, 62 feet, 10¼ inch from the foul line to the end of the pin deck, and 60 feet from the foul line to the head pin. So Tomas Larsen looking for title number 3. It'll be his first in the U.S. Against Jesper Svensson, looking for title number 7, his second this year. The other was a doubles with Kyle Troop. Wide, and Messenger's not going to make it.
And another soft 10.
So let's ask while we have a moment, how are the lanes breaking down for both guys, starting with Tomas?
Well, I think it's the front part of the lane that went first, and then it forced him a little bit to the left. And his angles opened up just a little bit to where the ball's not getting there. I don't think the lanes have changed much at all for Jesper.
Because he's been the only one on it, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I mean, and if they have changed, it's very minor for Jesper. A little bit of carry down and maybe a little friction up front, but that's it.
So Svensson sneaks back in, and you can take a look at the...
You can see it. You can look at the laydown area right here for the righties. And there's Jesper's laydown area.
And another strike for Svensson.
You like revolutions? Swipe right.
Go.
Oh my, did it not go? It just...
I think it went through the back of the building.
Yep, there it goes, right down Virginia Street.
Yeah, there it goes, right down Virginia Street is right. Through the back curtain.
Yeah, I know, just gotta keep that hand strong. The last one I thought was better. The one with the 7 pin didn't seem like your hand was...
To me, Mac.
That one was much better, and that's why it's
See the crutch.
Yeah, but I mean,
he had significant knee surgery not long ago.
He's just telling him to keep his hand in the right spot as Tomas Larsen now has made a ball change. Good idea.
And great execution by Larson.
Yeah, something come off the spot a little bit harder, looks like. A little bit stronger change of direction. It's a smart move, too, after going back-to-back kind of flat, soft 10s. He goes to something that he knows is going to jump off of that friction a little bit stronger.
We've seen that movie a few too many times from Larson in this game.
Time running out for the young Dane, as again it's just getting to the 1-3 late. Now if it was Jesper's rev rate, absolutely he strikes.
So we've already had a terrific start to World Series of Bowling number 9. And of course, you're watching the Cheetah Championship right now. That'll be followed by Scorpion, and that could be E.J. Tackett's last chance to defend his Player of the Year. But Belmo's on that show as well, and he's on the World Championship show. And that man right there, Jesper Svensson, is the top seed, and he had a spectacular run to the top of the ladder here in Reno. And a lot of that. TNT from Svensson.
Composure. Composure. One more.
Never be like us.
Yeah, it's a smart move.
Yes, he was kind of worked up, and that's a little unusual for him.
He got jacked.
Yep. And Tim Mack really understands the emotional part of the game as well as anybody I've seen.
Oh, yeah.
And Timmy played football collegiately at Penn State, and I think he understands that angle of an athlete's mind very, very well.
Strike here, and he pretty much locks up this title on Cheetah.
He has an animal pattern victory in his career. In Reno in 2015, he won the Chameleon.
Taking a lot of time on this shot.
And the result is the same. Jesper Svensson has nailed down his 7th PBA Tour title.
And that's about as much emotion as I've ever seen from Jesper.
Tomas Larsen finishing strong. He had a brilliant game in the 4-person match to get to this. And today he just got beat. Some days you have a good day and it isn't good enough. And Jesper Svensson was just overpowering, striking so far in every frame but the 4th.
Well, he did exactly what we kind of expected him to do. I mean, I think we've kind of grown accustomed to Jesper really putting his foot on the pedal, especially late in matches. In game 1, he started slow.
Well, I was wondering if that was going to happen today.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's a good week for Tomas Larsen, and we'll see him again. But right now, it's all about that man, Jesper Svensson. And I think the emotions, Dave, are because of a dear friend of his who passed away not too long ago, and he kind of dedicated this World Series to his friend back home in Sweden. And I think that's the reason why we see such an outpouring of emotion from Jesper Svensson.
Almost a spare. And Jesper Svensson will get the victory lap in the 10th frame. "22 years old, owner of 7 PBA titles, a major." And he dedicated, speaking of things that have been dedicated to people, he dedicated that shot to you.
That doesn't really count because he's left-handed and left a solid 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm splitting hairs here. Jesper Svensson's ascension up the ladder continues. You're looking at one of the biggest stars in the game. Jesper Svensson exploding pins all over the city of Reno, and he is a champion again. The Geico World Series of Bowling PBA Cheetah Championship presented by PBA Bowling Challenge is brought to you by Go Bowling. Promotional offers, tips to improve your game, news, or to locate a bowling center near you, log on to GoBowling.com. By Reno Tahoe. For your next vacation getaway, go to visitrenotahoe.com. By the United States Bowling Congress, creating competitive opportunities at all levels. We build a future for the sport. Visit bowl.com for more. And by PBA Bowling Challenge. Bowl against your friends or the PBA Pros. Download the free app today. All right, it is time for our Geico Championship recap. The man of the hour, Jesper Svensson.
Yeah, it was all about Jesper. At one point, he had 11 in a row from game 1 to game 2. Then he misses a 7-pin and just follows it up with another 5-bagger. And this was a shot here that he knew clinched it, his 7th career title.
Standing by with the champion is Kimberley Preston.
Jesper, this is your 7th PBA Tour title, but this is the most emotional I've ever seen you. Why is that?
Well, I don't know if I want to say this on TV, but you know, this one just means a lot personally to me. And yeah, I had a friend that just passed away recently, like a week ago. So yeah, this one was for him.
Well, you did him very proud. Congratulations on this win. Let's talk a little bit about the match. You seem to figure it out pretty soon. Why did this pattern match up with you so well?
Well, you know, I love throwing the urethane balls, and on this short pattern, most of the times urethane works well on those. So yeah, I got comfortable pretty early. I knew I was going to hit the pocket most of the time, so I'm just happy I could finish it off. I'm super happy, and yeah, as you say, it was an emotional win for me, and yeah, I can't wait to get home and share this one with my other friends.
Well, we're going to see you next week in the PBA World Championship, so congratulations on your 7th PBA Tour title. You've earned it.
Thank you, Storm. Thank you, Vive.
So coming up next, the PBA Scorpion Championship. E.J. Tackett, Jason Belmonte. First, they've got to get through Sean Maldonado and Brandon Novak to set up a Player of the Year showdown. Jesper Svensson could be a Player of the Year candidate in 2018 as he grabs the PBA Cheetah Championship, and you'll see him on New Year's Eve, bowling for the big championship. For Randy and Kimberly, I'm Dave Lamont. We thank you for watching an emotional Cheetah Championship.